the broadcast center in Los Angeles, this is KCAL 9 News at 8 a.m.
Dr. John West from Breastlink is here to talk about how early detection of breast cancer can save lives. For the last 30 years, Dr. John West has been an advocate for the early detection of breast cancer. And he is the director of surgery at Breastlink of Orange, and he's also the author of Prevent, Survive, Thrive, Every Woman's Guide to Optimal Breast Care. And we want to thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now, you have been in practice for a long time.
You could tell.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to say that, just from your knowledge.
Yeah.
What made you write a book now?
There is so much progress in early detection of breast cancer. It is so exciting to practice now. I started out in the days of radical mastectomies. Women would come in with a lump. We put them to sleep, do a frozen section. If they had cancer, we do a mastectomy. It's totally different now. We're able to detect little bitty cancers on screening in women with no symptoms, save their life, save their breast, and not put them through chemo or radiation or all of that. So it's a very, at the same time, there's so much confusion and there's so many different ideas out there, and women they go on the web and they get Google-itis because you can't get an easy answer. So I finally, after talking to women and trying to explain things and having women tell me, "Doc, just tell me what you'd say if I were your wife or your daughter," I said, that's what every woman wants to know. And I should write a book based on my 40 years of experience that gives clear answers to those kinds of questions. And these questions are life and death in some cases. Early detection of breast cancer means you save a life.
Exactly. And a lot of people do know that I am a new breast cancer survivor. I was diagnosed in October. And so many of the women that I've met while battling cancer, so many of us said, we don't have cancer in our family. No one had breast cancer, and I felt that I had a false sense of security because breast cancer wasn't in my family. But a lot of women are diagnosed with breast cancer who didn't have it in their family.
The majority of women who are diagnosed with breast cancer don't have it in their family, so every woman is at risk. But if you have an Angelina Jolie-like history where your mom had ovarian and several of your aunts had breast cancer, you know you're at increased risk. So we want those women to do gene testing. If they're positive, we want to follow them with the MRI, not just the mammogram. We want to give them the option of nipple-sparing mastectomy, as Angelina Jolie went through. We want them to know that their ovaries may have to come out at age 40 to protect them from ovarian cancer. So it's getting more and more complicated. So we're making great progress. But as we're making great progress, doctors don't have the time to study all this, to explain everything. The woman must empower herself. If she wants to get the best results, if she wants to protect herself, if she wants to catch cancer at the earliest stage and get the best results, she must be able to go to a doctor. For instance, if she says she finds a little change in her breast, she said, I want you to do a diagnostic ultrasound, cone compression views. If there's a change, I want a vacuum-assisted biopsy. If you don't find anything, I want to be followed at 2, 4, and 6 months. And oh, by the way, if you don't want to follow that, I'll get a second opinion.
Well, but part of the issue now is that there is a chance that it could be changed where mammograms don't happen until you're 50. I'm not 50. A lot of the women that were being treated when I was being treated are not 50. And so what happens if this goes forward? And
this is one of the greatest tragedies of our time. We're at the verge of dropping breast cancer mortality by 60, 70, 80% if we do aggressive screening with mammograms, 3D mammograms, risk assessment, MRIs in high-risk women, ultrasound for women with dense breasts. We can make incredible progress, but just as we're making this incredible progress, we're making a major step backwards. This government committee, the U.S. Preventative Task Force, is saying that women don't need to start until they're 50, do it every other year, and stop at 74. Now, this is tragic. This is criminal. It is based on absolutely false data. It means that young women will die needlessly. Young families will grow up without a mother. It's mind-boggling that just as we've made this incredible progress on early detection, that they're going to pull the rug out from us. It doesn't make sense. We have to fight back, and our 40 Not 50 campaign does just that.
And you mentioned in this that dense breast or something to be, but a lot of women don't know that they have dense breasts.
That's a great story, because half of all women who have a mammogram, and the only way you can tell is to look at the mammogram report. You can't tell by checking it. The doctor can't tell by checking. If the mammogram says your breasts are dense, and half the women will have that, we know that the mammogram doesn't work so well in finding small cancers. But if we add screening whole breast ultrasound, we can double the pickup of small, early, treatable, curable breast cancer. That's what it's all about, catching it early and saving lives. But again, in California, where there's a law that patients must be informed if their breasts are dense and be told that there is additional imaging that could help save your life, less than 1% of all women in Southern California are informed that they have dense breasts. So for a woman, that brings up the empowerment issue. A woman's going to have to ask because they're not going to tell you. You must be empowered. Are my breasts dense? Yes or no? No? Then fine. A yearly mammogram starting at 40 and continuing as long as you're healthy, not stopping at 74. But if your breasts are dense, you should look at the option of screening ultrasound. In fact, you should do screening ultrasound. You're going to double the pickup of small. You realize how incredibly important that is, how life-saving that is. Catching it early, like catching a little lump where you can save the breast, not go on chemotherapy, outpatient surgery. That's what it's all about. That's where we want to go with this.
And real quick before we let you go, so much has been done, the advances of saving women's lives who do have breast cancer, but doesn't seem like as much is being done to figure out why we're getting it.
Well, there's a tremendous amount being done, and it seems like we're on the verge of finding, the answer. And I always, at the end of the book, I kind of kid the reader in saying that it may be for me much like it was for thoracic surgeons when they found a cure for TB, that these guys were out of business. So I can see myself working at Walmart or something as a greeter and directing women who have concerns to the aisle where they can get the test to see if they have breast cancer, just a simple blood test. And then if they test positive, then we can give them a pill that will destroy it. They never have to get a mammogram or see a doctor. That is my dream. That's my goal. I hope I live long enough to see that day where I can work as a greeter at Walmart. I think it'll be a great way, after doing mastectomies and all these radical surgeries, it'd be nice to have a pill that will cure cancer.
I hope you do. There's a lot of us that hope you do. Thank you so much, Dr. John West, for being here this morning and answering so many questions. And to learn more about Dr. West and Breastlink's 5 locations in Southern California, just go to our website, KCAL9.com, and click Seen on TV.